Good morning, everyone. Well, what can we say? Hash. We're making one pot hash for breakfast. Eggs, potatoes, peppers, all the good things you can imagine. So let's go. This is COVID Meal Series, episode number 2. Chef Quinn's in the kitchen. Hey, Chef, what are we making for breakfast this morning? I said hash, but what do you call it?
Exactly that. Just heavy hash.
So there we go. Okay, why are you using a cast iron plate?
Because you can throw it in the oven first and foremost, and then secondly, just it's convenient. It just holds heat well, and you can use this, and nothing will stick to it.
Okay, so why are you doing bacon this way? What's the benefit to people?
You don't have to put paper towel if you don't want to waste paper towel, and secondly, you can just having it elevated off the sheet pan, you won't have less risk of burning it. I would say because it's not sitting in the grease.
Oh, plus I guess you would say, even though it's bacon, who doesn't like bacon?
Exactly.
You're getting a little bit less fat because you're rendering that fat out just a little bit. So in your hash, what do you got this morning in your hash?
In my hash, I am going to be roasting a poblano pepper. We have small creamer potatoes. We have just canned black beans, cherry tomatoes. We have a poblano pepper and an Anaheim hidden kind of underneath here as well as some orange pepper and white onion. You do not have to use these. I'm including them because I want more of a Mexican style hash. I have cumin and some coriander, and we'll be putting some salsa on it as well. Besides that, just 3 eggs because we're only serving 3 people, and mozzarella cheese because who doesn't love some cheese?
Well, perfect. So everyone, we love doing this. This is the COVID meal series, as we mentioned. These are nice little simple cheat meals, everyday items found inside. Well, not everyone will have a poblano. I have to be honest with you. I had to go find a poblano at the grocery store. But you can use any pepper you want, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can use any pepper. I would recommend greener peppers, even though a lot of people have a lot of things against green peppers. I like them for when you're doing something more Mexican inspired. I just feel like green pepper has that fresher taste. This is definitely for a day after. Just if you want something a little heavier, you can share this with people. This is great if you just want to not have any dishes after a busy long night. You will have one pan, no mess. You don't have to put bacon in it. Of course, you don't have to use a tray. We wanted bacon in it. You can make this vegan by wilting spinach in it. And instead of using bacon, you can add a lot of other things as well. Even at the end to finish off, you can put quinoa if you wanted to. Anything different. So while these are browning up, you want these over medium low. Do not eat the potatoes. Okay.
Now you've got the oven on. You've got the oven set at
450.
Okay. So what are we doing with the oven and why?
The oven will be baking this at the end for about 10-15 minutes just to finish browning the potatoes and cooking them the rest of the way through. They will take a little while. As we all know, potatoes take some time. So while these are going currently, we can start roasting this poblano. If you do not have gas, this is a step you can totally skip. I want to roast it just because I think it adds a little heat. A little more flavor.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. You see it on TV all the time. Well, here you're seeing it live, but this is pretty neat. I've never seen this. This is why you have a chef come in here and actually show you how not to burn down your house.
If you have a barbecue, you can obviously do this on the barbecue. Conveniently, this is just here.
Okay.
So why not use it?
Morning, David. David is a good friend of mine. He's up at 100 Mile House, works at the Remax office there. He's the broker owner. Hi, David. Good morning.
Almost there.
So to what level do you take this? Do you just want to, as you say, blister the skin? Do you want to take it to
I want
black?
to the point where I can peel it. So I want to get, once I blister this, it's pretty much just like sweeten it up a little bit, release some more of the oils that are inside of the pepper. You don't have to, like I said, do this. This is just something that's really nice about poblanos because it adds a lot. So I'm just going to come over here and stir this for half a second. Have you ever noticed that when you're frying the potatoes and you notice the pan go dry, you can add a little oil. If you do not want to add more calories, you do not have to. As you can tell, there's still quite a bit of oil in my pan. I just use extra virgin olive oil. You can use any oil you'd like.
Well, we got some friends, as I mentioned, from 100 Mile House, and we got friends watching all the way from Ontario. Hi, guys. Welcome. So if you didn't catch episode 1, the reason why we're doing this with Chef Quinn is during the COVID times, we know that times can be challenging, so we want to make meals that are every day found inside your pantry or in your fridge. Aside from the poblano peppers, I mean, we've got potatoes, we got onions, we got tomatoes, we got peppers.
You could roast your red pepper. You could roast your orange pepper as well. I wouldn't recommend just blitzing your regular like green pepper because it could potentially become bitter.
Okay.
So depending on how young it is, I would say it could be a little offsetting depending.
Cool.
But especially hot peppers, really roast nicely. I would have to say.
Nice.
But you're still going to take a few more minutes. There's no rushing potatoes. You do not want those to be.
Well, good morning to our friends out in Salmon Arm. Welcome to sunny Okanagan. So again, the reason why we're doing this, guys, is because we're trying to make it so that, if you've got kids at home, these are some of the things that the kids can prepare. They can do an early morning breakfast. They could do this as a lunch. It could be a dinner. The last time we did it, we did hash, and the hash fed a family of 4 for 2 meals.
Shepherd's pie.
Sorry, shepherd's pie. Thank you. That's what we did. The beauty of live. Anyways, it's all about making really good, economical meals that are packed with flavor and are very nutritional for you. I mean, if you need everyone to start eating their veg, this is a great way to start eating your veg in the morning. Oh, and by the way, with any good meal, you got to have the cheese. Cheese is what it's all about. Oh, nice. We were just asked. It's really cold in Ontario. Dale, if we could catch a flight right now, I'm sure we would be able to be there and we would bring some to you. It might still be hot, but unfortunately, we know the way the airlines are flying. That's going to be a challenge.
That it
is. he wants the shepherd's pie recipe. I'll do that to you offline, Dale. Good morning from Vernon. Hi, Tim. So from start to finish, how long do you think this meal is going to take? So I know we've got about 10 minutes in the oven when we're done.
Yeah, so at this point, it's going to be, it all depends on how long your potatoes get. I really want them to be a little crunchier on the outside. I want them to have a little more color. Right now, they're still very raw. I was hoping they'd be a little further along, but like I said, you can't exactly rush the potato. So from here, I'm just going to chop up this roughly, and hopefully we'll be close enough to strain that, but if not, we'll be waiting a couple more minutes for that.
All right, so like normal, we still take the seeds out because they're of no value to anybody.
Well, actually, I'm gonna leave some of them in. I'm gonna take out the main pith, but I'm gonna leave a little in just because the poblano doesn't have a lot of heat, and I do want a little more, which comes from the seeds oil. So leave it rough, leave it big. You don't want to have super small. Well, unless your preference is smaller chunks, but I like having more pepper feel.
Nice. And now that it's entering into summer here in the Okanagan Valley, what's also nice is everyone's getting ready to start planting a lot of veg. We got strawberries, raspberries, we got peppers, we got tomatoes, we got zucchini, all the good things. Just remember, if you guys can, get yourself into a, oh darn, Quinn, I'm blanking. What's that thing outside that we use for the dirt when we put all of our scraps in?
Oh, compost.
Compost, there we go. The biggest word, it's always the hardest on a Sunday morning. So start using your compost because you might as well use what you can, and that way you can, let's protect our planet a little bit more. We know there's lots of things going on today, and if that's anything that we know the government can't tax, there's one thing: you can't tax compost if we do it ourselves.
And free dirt after a little time.
Free dirt, yeah.
Buying soil is not cheap.
No, gosh, no.
Compost. For you to go to the store and buy a big compost, it's like 15, 20 bucks.
Does anybody want a cheese-loving, vegetable-loving puppy? That's Duke. He's always quick to be on the fly. He smelled the bacon before it even went into the oven. And again, that's a nice trick. And Chef Quinn was saying, if you turn your oven on and you grab your bacon and you put it onto one of these cooling racks, typically by the time your oven has come up to temp, the bacon's done. So what we're doing here is chefs used 2 pieces of bacon to go into this. Well, later on, we're making potato salad for the family. So we're going to be using that in a beautiful warm potato salad. And I don't know about you guys, but bacon, potato salad, you throw in some nice warm pieces of corn, some chives, and your own favorite dressing, and pow, you've got a warm potato salad that is absolutely stunning. And I have to give props. I got that recipe from my friend Brad. He's one of the owners over at Earl's in Kelowna. And what's nice is they actually put that recipe up on the internet, and we've tried it several times. And I tell you, warm potato salad is to die for.
You're wrong.
All right, so are we in a holding pattern, just waiting for those potatoes to keep on going? Or what do we?
Just waiting on the potatoes. Obviously, you don't have to use fingerling or crew potatoes like we use. You can use Yukon Golds. You can use almost any soft skin potatoes. You can use Russ's if you'd like to. I would maybe par blanch them a little bit. They're a little bit more starchy.
All right. Well, while we're doing that, let's just have a little bit of let's tease people. Everyone, welcome to what the Okanagan Valley looks like on this beautiful Sunday morning. Sun's been up for several hours now, but look at that. Sorry, Toronto, no snow, but my goodness, how amazing. And we talked about getting our fruits, our berries, and our veg. Take a look at what's happening here. All of those containers, they've got all the proper nutrients that are required, and we've got produce already growing. We got our blackberries and raspberries. We've got our elevated veg going here. We got strawberries, we've got mint, we've got lavender. We had basil, but it wasn't doing so well, so we moved that over into this section. And then, of course, you have to have your strawberries, which you can't see is on the second level. Loads and loads of strawberries. We'll be eating that hash later on the deck. Can't wait. Morning mimosas, if anybody needs mimosas. Not a big mimosa fan, but hey, if that's what you want to have for breakfast, by all means. Oh, that looks really good. That's starting to pull together, yeah. All the pieces on the bottom, if you guys can see that, that is flavor.
And that won't matter because, like I said, we're going to be putting a bunch of other stuff in there, and then we'll just take all that up. They shouldn't be fully done, but I do want to see how far they are at this point. Still like another minute or two.
So I know at the end of our first video, we always kind of give an idea because while people are doing this, we're always trying to be cost conscious. Mm-hmm. I mean, today's hash is going to be designed for 3 people. I mean, there's enough here for 4 easy.
Yeah.
I mean, we always cook based on a family of 4 because that's pretty much the common.
Well, yeah, you just add another egg. I would definitely say that maybe one or two piece of bacon for each person, an egg for each person. And because you're adding cheese, you have hash browns, everything else. Obviously, you're not just probably eating this on its own, unless you wanted to, of course.
So far, cost-wise, what do you think this meal? And we don't do it per person. We let the people watching do the calculations. But what this one cost us to put together?
Well, honestly, it obviously comes down to what potato you get. I would say is one of your main things cost. If you wanted to buy one Yukon Gold, you're looking at 80 cents, so it's $1. You can get a can of black beans for about $1. You only need about half of it, so 50 cents if you wanted to go that way. Bacon, completely optional. Of course, you can go anywhere with meat. For the amount that we use, I'd say another $1, potentially. Eggs, again, you can have, I would say overall for everything, probably about $7 feed 4 people. $7 comfortably.
And this could be breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Definitely an all-day breakfast hash.
I mean, I love this. I mean, this is really cool. Sometimes, you wake up every morning or you're kind of at a crossroads. What do I do? What do I do for a quick meal? This has got substance. This will fill you up. That's the most important thing. And it's all about flavor. I mean, we haven't even got to the flavor yet. Right now, you've just done what? Salt and pepper on those?
Yeah, salt and pepper. That's all we really need, and that's all you technically would need. I might need a couple other seasonings, like I said, because I'm making mine more Mexican-inspired, more...
Yeah, you've got coriander. You've got a little bit of curry.
Cumin.
Oh, cumin. Coriander and cumin. Okay. And then just to dance the dance, salsa.
Right at the end. Definitely do not need to add more oil to your pan. That handle is quite warm at this point. Let's see. I'm going to do peppers and your onions right out of the gate. If you are going to add fresh garlic, obviously wait till these are cooked through a little bit, as you do not want to burn it, as we talked about in our first episode. And because the worst thing in the world is brown bitter garlic.
Right, garlic is more of an enhancer. You want to put that in right at the very end, right? And
Yeah.
let it wilt a little bit, but you don't want to have it in the cooking for the entire time, right?
Yeah, like it's one of the flavors that you want to be present, and it'll be stronger if you don't put it in right away, because all you're going to be doing is trapping it in, like I said, burning it, and that's just not helping anybody. To get these little saute, we'll let these brown up and get semi-translucent. We can season as we go. A little bit of coriander. Not a lot. Oh, you can always add, you cannot take away. Always remember.
Season to taste.
You can go any way with your seasoning as well. If you want to use Montreal steak seasoning, if you have your favorite Cajun seasoning, it's entirely up to you. You can go any which way you want with this. That's what's great about a hash, is that it's yours. If you have any random leftovers in your fridge, if you have leftover rice even, go ahead, throw it in there. You can make it your own.
Now, because we are filming this in the morning, and as much as I love you, look at this. Those are the 3 most beautiful girls I have in my life. Coffee is the fourth most beautiful thing. Well, I love you, Quinn. But coffee's where it's at.
So since we roasted the poblano, we're going to add that in a little later after those start cooking, because we don't want to add it right out of the gate, just so it doesn't get too mushy. Like I said, you don't have to keep the seeds if you want less seed. Poblanos are not that spicy, so I just wanted that extra little bit.
Now, you haven't added any more oil to this.
Didn't need to. From the little bit that was from the potatoes, and also when I reintroduce the potatoes here in a minute, whatever's residually coating that should, again, carry over. But as you can tell from the bottom of the pan, there's more than enough oil in here.
Okay, cool.
And on the bottom, all these are just nice little bits. We're going to have a nice crust on here once we bake it in the oven anyway, so keep it going. At least you're getting a little more color. We'll flatten those out a little bit. Let those cook for another minute or so. And then reintroduce the potatoes.
Wonderful. Well, we got lots of people watching this right now, so if you guys want to, feel free to ask Chef Quinn any questions. If you're looking for anything that you can use as an alternate or a substitution, please just type up something, let us know. I see we got some friends here from West Kelowna. We got some other friends that are out by the airport. So it's nice. We got a good broad reach. We got Halifax watching us. This is wonderful. Halifax? What time is it in Halifax? It's 12:30, so they're probably making lunch.
This is French food. It's fine.
And what's nice is we're not using a bunch of heavy fats. I mean, Eggs Benny, love Eggs Benny, and we'll probably do an Eggs Benny one. But
you can't throw hollandaise over this if you want.
I know. It's so good. But at least this particular one's going to be nice, and it's going to be healthy.
It's a little lighter. Like I said, you don't have to add bacon. You could put sausage meat if you wanted. Like if you had chopped up raw chorizo, that'd be definitely wonderful to add.
Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
We don't have that though.
I mean, we could lie to you and say that we're going to go all healthy, and then off camera we're going to smother it in hollandaise sauce. But, well, that's just not the truth. But it sure would taste good if we had it.
At this point, they're getting right where I want to reintroduce the potatoes. I just took them off to remove some of the extra grease because there will be a little extra on the potatoes that we would need. Cover your potatoes about 75% cooked. They will be finishing off in the oven, so that is fine. So do not be worried if they're not mushy at this point. If you wanted bigger chunks of potatoes, you could blanch them if you'd like. We did not. I did not feel like using another pan, because like we said, we're trying to do this all in one pan. So from here, I'm going to reintroduce bacon, just to cook a little bit of that fat into everything else.
Now, one thing we spoke about right at the very beginning. Why are you using a cast iron pan?
It can go in the oven. It'll hold the heat, and just one vessel will be perfect.
All right. What if I don't have a cast iron? Like I've got an oven ready.
Ready pans will work just fine. Like you can use any pan that can go inside the oven. I would say there's no issue there. Obviously, you want to make sure you don't have a plastic handle. Most pans can go in the oven if they do not have a plastic handle. Double check some of your Teflon. Some Teflon pans do not want to be over a certain temperature, so definitely double check that, because that can definitely become a problem. So, from here,
that looks really good.
everything's pretty much come together. The bacon, like I said, we're gonna cook this for a minute, so we don't want to overcook anything. From here, you can start making little pockets of black beans. You don't have to put them all in one area.
So if you're looking for a little protein and you're not into bacon, that's just not your thing. You've got that coming through with the beans.
Exactly.
So by adding beans to the hash, that's where you're kind of coming up with that little Mexican kind of feel.
Yeah, exactly. Like we got some cilantro, we have some salsa to throw on afterwards, which again you don't need. So you throw some cherry tomatoes on here as well.
Well, that's going to bring a little bit more moisture to it as well, won't it?
Exactly. Nice and colored might help steam the potatoes. You don't. Like I said, you don't have to put any of these ingredients. You can replace with whatever you want. You don't have to go the way of beans or tomatoes.
Okay, so 1 egg per person.
Exactly. So the only thing that we're using with the oven is pretty much to cook the eggs and melt the cheese, and finish off the last little bit of the potatoes.
Oh gosh, that looks good. If I'm in your way, tell me to move. 'Cause I know you got some stuff here behind me.
I did sadly break one of the yolks, but you know.
That's okay. That'll be mine.
This is home cooking.
That'll be mine.
I can move it over. Boom. Little pockets of gooey cheese, and then this will go in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes, like I said, just to cook through the eggs. And
now, does it matter what kind of cheese you use? I know we went with mozzarella because that's my
it's
personal.
gooey, and I would definitely say this would be the way I would go. You could use a sharp cheddar. You can use a Gouda. It doesn't really matter. It's all about preference. You can use soy, vegan, tofu cheese. I don't care.
Tofu cheese, really?
If you
Will it
wanted
melt?
To, probably not.
But it sure looks pretty.
Exactly. Throw it in the oven, and then we will come back in 10 minutes. I have no idea how to use a timer.
No, there you go. Is the timer on?
Oh, perfect.
There you go.
Boom. See you in 10 minutes.
There we go. All right, so while we've got that time, I know we're going to be doing a little cleanup. 10 minutes seems like a forever, but when we're all done, and we're not going to carry on the video for another 10 minutes, but when we're done, Quinn, what do you add last? Let's just kind of round this off while everything's happening inside. So
at the very end, I would say you don't have to again, but I'm going to be throwing some fresh cilantro and chives on just because it adds a little freshness. If you have radishes, mandolin radishes, a little chopped up there would be great. I would definitely recommend it. Besides that, a little salsa verde, but we have regular red salsa, perfectly fine. Tapatio, hot sauce, anything you'd like.
So if I kind of like a sriracha hot sauce, I do that at the very end.
Yeah, you
That's
definitely want to add any of your sauces at the very end. You don't want to add all that extra moisture because otherwise you're just going to have steamed mush.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's
If
good
you
to
had
know.
Yeah, if you had this salsa right now, it'd probably just become more of a potato porridge.
Oh, we don't want potato porridge. Well, that's it for today's COVID meal series hash. I'm glad you guys could all make it out. Thank you, Chef Quinn. Scott Jennings here at the Remax office with Search Kelowna. Glad you guys can make it. Stay tuned for our next event. That will be episode number 3. Details to follow. Take care, everyone. Enjoy your Sunday. Cheers.